Welcome to Off Top. My name is Dylan Wilson, and today I got two special guests. We got Jay Tuck of Cowboys Fans Only, CFO gang in the building.
What's up? What's up?
Yes, sir. And we got Nick's of the Star Game Podcast, gang.
Yeah, gang in the building.
How you doing, guys?
Better than Tuck right now because he's had to finish up with some Philly fans. I'm just getting ready.
I'm good, bro. Here's the thing. Philly fans, they troll so hard. It's like they lifeblood, right? They do troll in our chats, our shows, Twitter, but they hitters never hit nothing. No. Like, you know what I'm saying? You expect the best of the best, but I see like, Cowboys ain't won nothing in 25. Like, bro, that's all y'all got. The Cowgirls.
Oh, God. Man, the Cowgirls. Every time I see somebody put Cowgirls, I laugh. I'm like, bro, this is like,
right.
My God, like new material, please.
It's elementary. It's elementary trolling. Like, you know, it's like Cowgirls. Dallas sucks. Cowgirls.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. You know what?
Let me go ahead and cut you guys off because today we're actually going to be talking Cowboys Panthers since we already know we beating the shit out of the Eagles.
right.
Yeah. So guys, what do you think of Sam Darnold so far this season?
Well, he's not going to have his weapon, you know. He's going to miss that running back, you know, and JC Horn's out, so you know we got a couple of things our way. So looking good for us. October 3rd.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey just completely ruined my fantasy season, but you know it is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, in all seriousness though, I was telling Nick before you hopped on, Tuck. Well, we all kind of came together for the pitch train. That's how I came to know you guys. I became fans of you guys. So knowing everything we know now, if we could redo the draft and had our pick of the litter, Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain, or Kyle Pitts, who we rocking with?
Hey man, the train don't stop. The
train
don't stop.
Let's go.
I mean, I'm never going to apologize, you know, because me and Tuck took a lot of heat for this draft night, if you will. And it's like, we wasn't disappointed in Parsons at all. No, it wasn't a disappointment aspect, you know. But at the end of the day, borrow that from my guy Spoonie real quick. I'm always going to campaign for the Cowboys to get the best player in the draft, in my opinion. Whatever that is, you know, obviously it's not, we don't need a quarterback. Okay, we put that to bed. But at any point in time, when we're picking 10, 11, 12, 25th, 58th, I don't care. I'm going to campaign for us to get the best player, you know, in that round, you know. So, yeah, man, come on, man. It's still pitch train, baby.
Right. And I agree with exactly what Nick said. For all the people, it's like he's just a tight end. He's just a tight end. He is the highest drafted tight end in almost NFL history. So other teams would absolutely see what we were seeing. So why wouldn't you want that on our team? Because thinking about what we currently have in house, even though Dalton Schultz and Blake Jarwin are playing incredible, he's another weapon that we could add to his already explosive offense. So you got to be idiots to not want to add that. But yeah, no slight to Micah Parsons. I'm happy with what we got. So yeah.
The lion's always hungry, right? Let's go.
Let's eat.
Turn up. Time to turn up.
I love the mindset that Micah Parsons has, where he's putting pressure on this team to keep him on the field, to play him at different positions. Just because I'm a defensive end doesn't mean I can't play linebacker when you sub in a different defensive end. And I feel like he's challenging the way the coaches get stuck in their ways and all that. And we've seen it a lot with the past regime. So I'm happy that we have a guy like him who's kind of changing the culture, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, you know, something that we kind of talked about a lot is that, you know, to a certain extent, this defense is going to go. And this is before we got to him playing defensive end. We talked about this. We had a combined show, actually. Me and Tuck, we actually talked about this, if I'm not mistaken, about him being the deck of the defense, if you will. Like, you know, he's going to, you know, not like to come in and take over and be what Dak had to be as a rookie, as a quarterback, but in the mind state of, hey, man, you know, whenever Dak talks about changing the culture, right? Man, you got to get kind of guys in the building to change the culture. I think we turned over 43% of this roster, but the guy at 12 has to be an impact. No matter, we'll take the Pitts thing off here. Whether it was Surtain, whether it was Horn, you know, it ended up being Parsons. You know, it could have been Slater even, right? Because we watched the All Blue or whatever the show was, and it came down to Slater or Parsons. That's what they talked about. But that guy has to be impactful. He has to be impactful. You can't be picking 12 and up and not get a guy that's not going to impact your team immediately. And, you know, the thing of Parsons, man, it's just a great kind of mindset. And it's energy, right, guys? That's what I would call it. It's energy that seems to perpetuate through everybody, and you can hear it when he talks, right? It's infectious. Great term there, Dylan. It's infectious, and it gets people excited, and that's kind of what Dak was to the offense, right? It was a little bit of Dak Hansick, don't get it twisted, but that's what they were for the offense in 2016, and so far it kind of seems that's what Parsons is here early on for this defense in 21.
Yeah, I think everything that we said about Parsons pre-draft is actually coming to play. We know his versatility, we know his hunger, we know his athleticism, and just like Nick says, when we compare him to Dak and Zeke, he's just a young, energetic player that just infects the locker room. Because, like I said, when we drafted Ezekiel Elliott back in 2016, we had this young player who was just talented. He didn't know no better. He didn't fear nobody. And you were able to kind of just rally off of him, and you felt the energy kind of transpire to the locker room. And I felt like for the first time in such a long time, we have that defensively in Micah Parsons. Like, we kind of wanted it. I mean, the conversation all draft, we need a dog. We need a dog. Well,
right.
We didn't get a dog. We got a damn lion. You know what I'm saying? Like, it changes a lot because you just never had, as a Dallas Cowboys fan, that player who's just out there barking and know he's one of the best players on the field. We wanted Jalen Ramsey. We wanted Derwin James, those caliber players. Well, we got one in Micah Parsons, and we really haven't even seen his full capacity as of yet. He's just getting started, man. So as a Cowboys fan, you got to be excited about what you see in Micah Parsons, because he's something that I said that, honestly, I can't remember the last time we had something like this on the defensive side of the ball. We had CeeDee Lamb. We had so many different players offensively, but it's a defensive player that just changes the scope of the game. Micah Parsons is clearly that guy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
he's literally added so much speed as well. Like, you can see it in the defense and how fast they're playing with him calling the mic.
Right. And when I spoke about it, I also said he was going to be, the moment we drafted him, the leader of the defense. Now, when you think about this rookie class, you also saw some of them, whether it's Osa, you even saw Nashawn Wright, the list goes on, like this young defensive core. They knew that they had an opportunity to make something happen just because how bad our defense was last year. And so Micah Parsons kind of spearheaded the kind of the mentality amongst the rookies. But then initially, as you saw progress through camp, it just got to the entire defense where everyone's just rallying around this guy. And like I said earlier today, you normally don't see rookies taking the entire defense home to Moss for cooking and dinner and different things like that. That's more of a vet move, but he's already a made man in Dallas, which you got to be excited about.
Yeah, and hats off to Stephen Jones. All right, you in the fly. I don't want to say it a whole lot. I wouldn't see when it comes to Stephen at times, but to move back 2 spots to land Parsons, arguably, and I said it that night, and I'll continue to pound the table on this, to get the best defensive player arguably in the draft and pick up that extra third. It was a very masterful job by the Cowboys as well, maneuvering the draft. And if they do anything well from the front office standpoint, typically it is drafting. And back to your point, Tuck, of having a guy of his caliber. Like, we had D-Ware, okay? Guy, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. We know that. Parsons is wired a little bit different, though.
Right.
And when you talk about that, ooh, man, maybe a Roy Williams at safety was wired maybe a little bit that way. I don't know who we've had come through these doors that is really wired the way that Parsons is wired, and how he goes about handling his business, which is exciting. And absolutely, Tuck, I mean, this is exciting for fans right now.
Yeah, and like I said on Twitter, like Dez Bryant type mentality on the defensive side of the ball. There you go.
Nick, go ahead and give my audience your DeMarcus Ware Michael Parsons take, because I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, man, I'll be honest with you. Look, and again, I said this. I mean, it's no disrespect to D-Ware. I mean, he's first ballot Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winner, in what he did. I truly do believe that Parsons has the opportunity to be greater within the pantheon of Cowboys defensive players. I said this before he lined up week 1. Mm-hmm. By the way, I said this on Twitter before week 1. I said Micah Parsons has a chance to be a greater impactful pantheon in the pantheon of defensive players here in Dallas Cowboys history than D-Ware. I think he will go down that way. Now, 2 games in so far, I look pretty good saying that. It's not going to be one of those, we got your receipts on you, Nick. You said this, and look, so far, so good for me there. I mean, obviously still early, but man, you just kind of see it. I was just watching it during camp and seeing different things where we got to, the regular season. It was just like, okay, I could see it then. I was like, man, he was built different. And I was like, okay, he has an opportunity. And again, it's a culmination of things, right? It's coming in with 8 guys drafted on defense, as Tuck just alluded to. They know he's the guy, right? They came in with him, but he's the voice. We got guys that are a little bit older. They're, kind of moving out of the way. We turned this defense over a lot. So automatically, as Tuck talked about him being the leader of the defense, that adds into that. You don't have to grow into it. He's here now. So again, the way that he's wired, the multiple things he can do, and not just, okay, I'm just going to be an edge rusher. Like, he can do multiple things. He has an opportunity to be better for the Dallas Cowboys than DeMarcus Ware is. A first ballot Hall of Famer. I know it sounds crazy on the surface,
right?
But when you peel the layers back to it, you know, and obviously it's very early. I'm just projecting, looking at it, he has the opportunity to go do it. And, you know, and really my tweet said he will be better than DeMarcus Ware. So, I mean, I'll stand on that too, because people are like, wait, what did Nick actually say? They're going to see, like, no, you said, yeah, no, I'm staying 10 toes down on it. I think he will be better for the Dallas Cowboys long-term in the pantheon, as I said before, of defensive players than the Cowboys and DeMarcus Ware.
Like I say, it is a bold conversation and a bold statement from Nick's, but I think from Nick's standpoint, you're looking at the potential, and so I do agree with that. You know, DeMarcus Ware was more blue collar, more you know, lunch pill type guy, but Micah Parsons is just a different energy, a different player, different speed, just a different dynamic. So he has the capability, absolutely, to bypass DeMarcus Ware. You know, like I said, by the time they pull the receipts on your Nick's Twitter, it'll probably be gone by then. So you'll
we'll be on.
Yeah, you'll get your flowers on some other website, man.
Exactly, man. But I think when you're looking at it from the talent perspective, yeah, it's absolutely there, and I definitely can see that.
I have sort of a similar take, but for a different player. Trevon Diggs. I think we are currently watching the best corner in the league, but people don't even realize it yet. I feel like we are witnessing the best corner in the league, and we're just waiting for the perception to catch up.
He's emerging. I mean, he's emerging. You know, he hasn't played 16 games yet, or well, now 17 is a full season, but you know, he hasn't played a full season. Here's something to a tip of the cap of what you're saying there. The interception he had against Keenan Allen, there's not many cornerbacks in the league that can make that play. And so, what do you mean by that, Nick? Well, first and foremost, it's a crossing route.
He was beat off the line.
Right. And you watch how he's trailing, and when that ball goes in the air and you see that elite closing speed and how he was able to get in front and understand his body and where to go. Because a lot of cornerbacks, you know what they're going to do? They're going to dip right behind him, make the tackle, get him down. You know, they're not going to trust themselves because if he misses, right, it's going to be a huge play. And you have to trust yourself, and that's what great players do. They trust themselves to be able to make the play, and he closed, got in front. Now, Herbert could maybe do it a little bit further in front of him. We understand that. But, hey, you got to be able to make the play, and he did. So the kid is definitely the biggest thing, right, we talked about, all of us talked about on Twitter and all these shows and everything the offseason was, all right, we saw what Diggs was able to do last year. Can he pick up where he left off? I know Mary Ella was big on that. We need him to go to the next level. You know, she talks about that a ton. And, you know, so far through 2 games, we're seeing him elevate. So maybe some of your, you know, as you're talking perception to catch up with reality, I can buy that some. I just saw someone do a list from NFL Network, and they got him the 5th cornerback in the league currently right now. So there's a little tip of the old cap there. But he's only at 72 on Madden, though, but whatever.
Yeah, Madden takes a while. You go up 1 rating per week or whatever.
Right. They still got Anthony Brown's our number 1 corner, man.
Oh, get out of here. God bless you, Madden. Bless the game, Madden. Catch up.
Yeah. Let me transfer this conversation over to some Eagles talk, because they've been getting spicy with us on Twitter and everything, and I've been trying to throw some jabs back. Tuck going to war every day.
Tuck with the Teflon Don vest on. Was like, let's go.
Man. I'm chilling, man.
So last time they saw Dak, they were playing a one-arm Dak, and it's a game Amari got benched and the potential game time pass bounced off of Gallup's face mask. So I feel like Eagles fans are feeling pretty unreasonably invincible right now, and that they have no idea what's about to hit them this Sunday. I think we're going to blow them out. I think we're going to beat their ass, and I think people are going to be putting respect on Dak's name after this week.
I think unreasonable and Eagles fans go hand in hand. And so I just feel like that's where we're at right now. It's hard to kind of get to these people. Now, salute to, you know, my guy Joe from the Philly podcast, and also Tone. We just did a show a second ago. They're rational thinkers, but a lot of these Eagles fans, man, they don't think rationally, right? They just always they defend their players, they defend their team, but they don't think. But yeah, I agree. They're feeling like, and they said this actually on my show, they feel like we're the same team that they saw last year. And it's far from the case because they didn't even see Dak Prescott last year. So they saw Andy Dalton. They saw Ben DiNucci. They saw one of the worst ranked defenses in NFL history. They didn't see that. So if that's what they're thinking they're going to see on Monday night, then God bless them. But I feel like they're going to be in for a surprise because we saw clearly in the first 2 games, this offense is different. We could do it, you know, high volume passing and go for a shootout, or we can go ground and pound. So like I've been saying on Twitter, have it your way. What order you want to make, we can do it for you. So I think they're going to be in for a surprise Monday night, man, because a lot of these Eagles fans are delusional and they don't want to accept the fact that we're a lot better team, not only from last year, but also from 2019 when they last saw Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I mean, never mind the fact Andy Dalton cooked them 37-17, but neither here nor there.
Outplayed Jalen Hurts and beat him by 20.
Yeah, I mean, geez Louise. But yeah, as Amari Cooper said, right, he was like, makes us dangerous, or how that quote went when they were asking John, they're trying to catch him up with the passing so much week 1, running so much week 2, and he was like, well, defenses, we're dangerous, or however he said, basically like, yeah, we're a threat no matter what. And I'm big on that. I'm very big on, be water, right?
Yep.
When you take water takes form of a cup, okay, bet we're airing it out. Okay, water's gonna take form of this bowl. Okay, well, we're gonna hit you with that 1-2 punch with Pollard and Zeke. So really, it's up to Philly how they want to die. Pick your poison. Hey, you want to play 2 deep shell? Okay, well, good luck stopping the run. You want to creep them down? Okay, well, good luck stopping Dak to Amari and Dak to Lamb. So yeah, I mean, I have this attempt. I've said it last week. I've got good burns on it. I've said the Cowboys are going to win by 10 plus, and I stand by that.
What y'all think of the Beat Dallas shirt?
Did they hold a pep rally too? I was wondering if they had a pep rally with it.
But it proves the fact, and as much as I hate watching Skip and Shannon, they said that today on the show, and I think that's what triggered a lot of Eagles fans, is that they care a lot more about us than we care about them.
Yeah.
And right. I've been trying to say that for so many years, like, we just don't care. If you take the annoyance of their fan base out the picture, they can really, it's like, okay, Eagles, Cowboys, it is what it is. The only reason I want to win this game is to shut all these stupid fans that's in my Twitter right now the hell up. So I ain't got to deal with them till the last game of the season.
Facts.
And so I think that's what really hurt them today, is that they are the girl that's texting us at 12 a.m. saying, I don't understand what you see in the other girls you don't see in me. I'm like, you're just not ring material. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know what they want from us, but just to hear Nick Sirianni's like, it means so much for this team and the city and these people. And I'm just like, bro, if we lose and turn around and beat the Panthers, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the barometer for the Cowboys. Like, the Bucs game, it felt completely different. I needed that game. I wanted that game. Kansas City, all right, let's time to ride. Eagles, it's like, all right, let's just handle business and move on to the next week. So
just another Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's like I did my guy Birdman 31's cast, and we were doing it whatever. And I told him, it was like, I said, y'all, if y'all go 2-15, as long as your 2's against Dallas, y'all are happy. And he openly on the mic was like, yeah. I'm like, that's not us. As Tuck, alluded to just now, it's like, we're trying to test to see where we are. Okay, right. We're testing against the best. Okay, and the 2 teams he mentioned are the 2 teams that went to the Super Bowl last year. We know what they are. That's what we're looking at. This is bring your lunch pail. We're gonna sit down, eat a little tuna sandwich, have some cheesy poofs. Okay, drink our little Pepsi or whatever, dust off, punch the clock, and go home. I mean, This is what this is for us when it comes to playing. We're not going to hold no pep rallies. Right. We don't need no beat them and they need so much for the no, man. Y'all just come on in here, take this L, and let's go about our business. We got Carolina coming up next week. Yeah, we talked about Carolina, but we talked about y'all tonight.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Carolina's 3-0. That's okay. Let's see what's good.
I mean, it's the same feeling that I had when we beat the Chargers. Good win, great win. All right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's beat Philly. All right, and then we move on. So the things that we're focusing on as Cowboys fans is a lot bigger than just beating Philly and going back and forth on Twitter. But they don't understand that. So they want a rivalry. They want a show. They want to go back and forth. All right, well, Tuck's going to give you the show, but don't get offended when I give it to you.
I saw you retweeted a video of a dude saying Jalen Hurts was better than Dak. Say it with your chest.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Philly Notion really is confident that Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC East.
Let's talk about it. Well, what does Jalen Hurts specifically do better than Dak?
Like I said, Jalen Hurts is when you order Dak Prescott off of Wish. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's no knock to him. It's kind of the imitation version, the knockoff brand, the fake Gucci belt, as I always say. But it's like, he's not Dak Prescott. Now, do I think he's a tremendous leader? Absolutely. Do I think he has some to his skill set that can bring some value to this team? Absolutely. But he has a lot of work to do before he even gets in that Dak Prescott conversation. The only reason that Carson Wentz was in it, because they were drafted in the same class. They started the same year. Okay, cool. I get it. but Jalen Hurts has a lot of pillars and a lot of steps to climb before he even gets that Dak Prescott conversation. So I'm not even entertaining that. So I know Eagles fans want to kind of bait you into that. There's nothing to talk about there. But I feel like Jalen Hurts is an incredible leader, and the team is different with him. But we don't even know he's going to be their long-term solution. So
they did try to trade up for Zach Wilson, gotten denied, and then traded back.
Right.
But let's forget about that. I mean, that's like your girl trying to cheat on you, getting curved, and then coming back and telling you she loves you.
Right.
Well, and look, and even on top of that, I mean, they brought in Flacco, they traded for Gardner Minshew, even, and, all these different things. But I mean, his legs are better.
Right.
If you want to just pinpoint somebody who does better than Dak, I mean, he's more fleet of foot. He runs the ball a little bit better. Not that Dak can't run the ball, but why you want to run the ball when you got that gun attached to your shoulder, So
you need to run when you're just passing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to run a little bit to supplement what he does. I look and back to everything that we kind of talked about here, man. Yeah, it hurts. Hey, man, I like the kid.
Right.
I hate that he's an Eagle.
Hell, he's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I mean, you already know what it is. They all are to a certain extent.
Right. It's nothing personal to Jalen Hurts. He just catching strays because he's the face of the franchise.
Hey, sometimes the club gets shut up, you take a stray bullet. I'm sorry, it just happens sometimes. And look, great leader. Wish version. I don't know if I go that. I've got some stuff off of Wish. I don't know if I'll go that far as the Wish version. But yeah, he then came out of the flea market though. How about that?
So, Tuck, earlier I mentioned Trevon Diggs was third in passer rating allowed. Do you know who number 2 is?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we go ahead. I know the answer, and I also know who number 1 is as well.
Hey, for the record, I was a Ramsey guy. I wanted Ramsey over Zeke, and I wanted Asante Samuel if we didn't get J.C. Horn. So it is what it is. But I am happy with Kelvin Joseph.
I mean, it is what it is, but it is what it isn't, man. Because I felt like where we could be right now, just think about it. If we had Micah Parsons and we're seeing the versatility of him, and we had the outside corner of Asante Samuel Jr. and Trevon Diggs. Like, that is a solid future for your defense moving forward. Now, do I think Bossman can emerge and be a quality guy? Absolutely. But where I worry about Bossman, and me and Skywalker talked about this, is in-house politics. And we know in Dallas, not always the best player plays. And so he's coming off an injury. He might not fully be himself back probably to week 4, week 5. You're going to have Anthony Brown out there, and he's going to have to fight those politics to actually get that starting job over Anthony Brown versus I felt like if Asante Samuel had came in, he was going to be undeniable from day one where you have to play this kid and you cannot have him on the bench. And so, it's no real slight to Bossman, but I just feel like we could have been in a lot better situation with having Asante because he was more the day one ready player.
My biggest pet peeve with this team is, as you said, the politics. Because why aren't Nashawn Wright, Maurice Kennedy, and Jabril Coxey in the field right now?
Man, look, I don't like Wright. I don't know if Wright's ready though. There was time he showed flashes, but there was some bad tape on him too in preseason.
Can it get worse than Anthony Brown on the outside?
Well, here's the other side to it as well. We have to remember he's the backup to Diggs. They never really gave him a shot to be the other side guy. So there's something to that as well from their thought process. And I kind of treat this as like, because, after the first, we're seeing some of training camp, they play the preseason. I'm like, guys, until he gets a chance opposite of Diggs, I mean, this is kind of where we are. And that's kind of held true throughout it. See, my gripe out of the 3 would be Kennedy for sure. Because Kennedy, now granted, we're not privy to all the practices. Yeah, we're not privy to all the practices, right? So we don't know everything. However, when the lights are on, Kennedy seemed to be a clear-cut better corner, but again, he was playing out of the slot. So now here comes the politics. Well, you paid Lewis to be in the slot, so really, you're going to play Kennedy over? It's not really about Kennedy over Brown. It's Kennedy over Lewis, which Lewis has done a fine job so far this year. So now it takes us back to the outside spot. Me personally, I'd probably give Kennedy a shot. However, they played him primarily at the slot, and that's where he was, and here we are. So we did at least see them adjust for what was going on with Brown right in the second half last week. They monitored the situation. I've been about team youth movement. Whenever Kelvin Joseph's ready to go, put him out there. Let's ride.
Right.
Yeah, let's just ride. Again, as you just said, it can't be much worse. So you picked him what, 50 or 44th overall. Get on the field and do something.
You gotta let him get his licks in,
right?
And the fact that we didn't use him last week, like the Mike Williams was the perfect matchup. That's the ideal. That's the reason you drafted him, to play players like that.
Well, he can't play, right? You talking about Joseph?
No, Nashawn Wright. I'm sorry.
Oh, Nashawn Wright. Okay, I got you. I'm with you.
Nashawn Wright.
Yes, sir.
But
yes, sir.
Exactly. Yeah, that was my frustration. Like, I thought you drafted this player specifically for this purpose, and you're not using him.
But Jabril Cox is the one that bothers me the most, to be honest.
Well,
I want Mike at defensive end and Jabril Cox at the mic. But
man, you might get that this weekend or Monday.
But I tried. Look, I warned Cowboys Nation on this. Nobody wanted to listen. I did. Me and Boston did the show and everything. I told everybody, man, this is going to be, unless there's a lot of injuries, it's a red shirt season. I agree with his coverage and what he showed and showed how he had elevated his tackling. I was like, man, he could probably be an asset. But again, you look at the guys that are in front of him. I mean, it's just not going to be there this year. But now next year is when they'll take the training wheels off and he'll go fly. But yeah, for this year, man, unless there's more injuries or COVID situations, this is kind of what we're going to see out of them. Is from my estimation when it comes to Cox.
What do y'all think of this COVID situation? We got Bradley and I out now. Looks like Keanu Neal's probably going to be gone too.
Every week's a crapshoot, man. That's the scary part about this season. I was just saying, like, it's bad enough that we're dealing with real injuries, but now with this COVID situation kind of going on, every time I check my Twitter timeline, you just got to hope for the best. And so, because I mean, we haven't seen a situation where a player's tested positive, but he's tested negative 2 times and he's able to come back and play. So when you kind of hear that they're out, they're pretty much going to be out for a week. And you think about it from this standpoint, okay, now it's Keanu Neal and also Bradley and I. Okay, so how many linebackers or defensive players did he impact, and where can that really go for next week? And so, it's really hard to kind of get past that. But the great part about this team is that even with all this going on, they've been able to make changes and rise above it, which is different for Dallas. So, but that's the hard part. You having injuries, and it's so early. Like, we're only in week 3. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part about it. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of scary when it's just a crapshoot, because you just never know when you get that report the next week who's going to be in and who's going to be out.
Yeah, just clean the star, Jerry. Come on, do something.
Right.
All right, now I want to transition the conversation over to something I see y'all are passionate about on your shows. Tony Pollard versus Ezekiel Elliott. I don't want to put the verses in there, but I see some fans pitting them against each other. I'm of the mindset that Tony Pollard was the better back last week, and you have to increase his snaps, maybe split him 50-50 until he proves otherwise that he can't handle it. And I don't like that fans go off the assumption that just because like he's getting a lower workload that he can't handle a higher one. And if you get more snaps, does less efficiency apply to Zeke as well? Like, will Zeke be better if he gets less snaps? I mean, what do y'all think?
I think we're looking to have both. What about you, Talk?
Yeah, I agree. It's a luxury to have both. And you look around the NFL, and I said this in a video I did the other day, is that you're seeing a lot of teams go to more of running back by committee. I mean, hell, if you look at the 49ers, they hella committee, so it's like, it's okay to have depth at a position. There's 17 games, and, you don't want to run Ezekiel Elliott to the ground. His rookie season, his first 2 years, he took a lot of carries. And so it's great to have a player of Tony Pollard's caliber that can come in and take some of that load off. And like me and Nick's have been preaching this vocally on Twitter and also on our channels, is that Zeke needs to be the wild thing. He can be the closer. Let Tony Pollard come out there and do what he does in that late third, late fourth. That's when you feed the beast and get out there with the victory and a win. And I feel like Ezekiel Elliott is capable of doing that. So, I'm not one of these people who want to pit them versus each other or say so-and-so should have more carries. It really comes down to touches for the both of them. But from what I saw this last game versus the Chargers, I absolutely like that game planning. And I feel like Kellen Moore is going to continue that moving forward.
Yeah, Wild Thing. Cue it up, man. Major League, let's go. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, Wild Thing. Yeah, bring him in there, let him get after it. But I mean, to me, man, like the Chargers. I mean, look, Pollard had 13 carries with 3 catches, who had 16 touches. Right? You had Zeke with 16 carries, 2 catches, 18 touches. Dak threw the ball 27 times. I mean, if the team's going to give you the running, and going to sit in that 2 deep shell, I think that's the mix. I don't think it's so much, the week one, I mean, come on. I mean, week one, we're going to throw week one out, right? Because we were airing it out, and the passing game was an extension of the running game, okay? So I'm not really worried too much about the breakdown of what happened with the runs in week one. I think it was like 11 for Zeke and maybe 3 for Pollard. But last week, I think is more of what they're looking to do and what they're looking to get for. One thing Tuck definitely banged the table about a lot this offseason was like, get them out there on the field at the same time. And we're seeing that now. So it's not, we have to remember this too. But I remember, I'm old enough now. I'm young Dylan, I'm old. Okay. And I remember a point in time where I was like, oh, get Emmett out of here. Troy Hambrick, get him out. Troy time. Right. And Emmett goes over there and plays pretty well there the last few years over there in Arizona. And we had Troy Hambrick over here, needs another yard to get a first down. I'm just going to run out of bounds. And I remember I was like, you're never going to get 1,000 yards when there's 2 yards there and you go out of bounds because you didn't want contact. And he was going ham. And, Troy got bounced up out here pretty quickly. So it almost looks like your favorite quarterback's the backup. It's kind of like that with the running back position, maybe in particular in Dallas. It's always about the check. If you didn't hear $90 million all the time, no one would be complaining about Zeke, right? The other side of that too, when we talk about the Pollard Zeke thing, is nobody's game planning for Pollard yet. I think it's the proper term here. Yet they aren't, because he hasn't been featured enough, right? And so he's going to get different looks. And whenever you guys say, okay, well, there's Dak, there's Pollard, or there's Dak, and then you get the 2 combo in there, right? Pollard and Zeke. Well, there's Lamb, there's Cooper. Well, who's going to be the last man on the totem pole they're going to worry about? Pollard, right? So you have some of that. Now, then you kind of get into what Zeke brings to the table other than just running the ball. Can Pollard really stick in there and lay those kind of licks and pass pro for you the right way, or get those right kind of chips? So there's more to Zeke's game, obviously, than just running the rock. But Pollard does need more touches. That's preseason. I was like, man, look, stick Pollard back to on punt return. People was like, oh, he didn't punt return in college. He didn't. I was like, I'm pretty sure he can field the damn punt. I'm trying to get my man more touches, okay? I think Pollard he's got some juice. He needs more touches. I'm trying to manufacture some if I can. But I like the Chargers. I like I said, 13 for Pollard, 16 for Zeke, 3 catches for Pollard, 2 catches for Zeke, and touches, right? That's exactly Tuck nailed it. Touches, not just runs, but touches in what they do and how they break this thing down and go forward. So, again, they're not game planning for Pollard yet. I don't know, yet. But the way the season unfolds, it might be more a matter of a time where these teams are once like, okay, guys, they're actually committed to it. And that's the other thing, too, because it seems like histories of the Cowboys. We've had dual backs before, right? Or guys that are capable to come in. Pollard's been here a while, guys. But we've never really implemented a true running back by committee, right? Even when Garrett was here, it's like, okay, so Zeke's going to get all the carries in the first quarter. Pollard's going to come in for 1 series in the second quarter, and then Zeke the rest of the time. Well, that's not really a running back by committee. That's not really much of a game plan, and we've never really truly committed to it as a team. And last year, it's last year, right? Last year was the COVID, and Dak was gone, so we didn't get to really see Kellen Moore flourish. But in our recent history, we just haven't seen it yet, so teams aren't paying attention to it yet. Now, once they start paying attention to it, then we got to wait and see. But I do love it by the committee and getting these guys somewhere close around the same touches. As long as it's not that weird, okay, well, Zeke's getting 20 touches and Pollard's only getting 4 to 6, then maybe, unless Zeke's just cooking, then maybe you're like, hey, man, we need to get this a little bit balanced better.
Hey, speaking of Kellen Moore, on the Talking Boys with the Boys podcast, shout outs to those guys. I asked a question that kind of started a forest fire with Nick and Mark.
Golly.
So, Tuck, when you brought me on your show, you asked me if I thought Mike McCarthy was the guy. And my answer was I think Kellen Moore is the guy.
Right.
And so if it comes down to this season and it comes down, Kellen Moore gets an offer to be a head coach, and your only way to retain him is to promote Kellen Moore. Do you do that, or do you stick with Mike McCarthy?
You ask me if I would do that, or if I'm very done with what the organization would do.
We already know the organization is going to just stick with what they know, but
it depends. It really depends on what the season looks like. So let's say, for instance, we fall short. Let's say we're 7-10 team. Absolutely, I'll pull that Band-Aid and just go get the guy that you ultimately want. Now, if we're a playoff team. Let's say we win the division. And also like win a divisional game or go to the divisional game. I don't. But the hardest part when it comes to the dynamic, when it comes to Kellen Moore, is we saw it on Sunday. the relationship that Kellen Moore has with Dak Prescott. I mean, they were laughing and giggling and hugging. And so, that also plays a part in it. So what I think that what the team would do, I think they probably would. I feel like they would try to find an excuse and like, hey, you know what, Kellen's been running our offense, he's one of our guys, and move on from Mike McCarthy. And Mike McCarthy might be okay with that, because I think Mike McCarthy might want to get the hell up out of Dallas anyway. But for me personally, I wouldn't. I wouldn't yet. I would try to hold Kellen Moore maybe another year, another 2 years, and then really wait till things get bad to see what I really have in Mike McCarthy. Because honestly, this is like his first year of coaching. I mean, like Nick just said, we had the COVID year. Right. It was a completely different situation. So I really want to see what I have in Mike McCarthy. Now, if you start seeing some of these lapses that we saw last year, they're starting to sink into this year. Like I said, we don't make the playoffs or we lose the division and maybe take third in division or something. Oh, yeah, by all means, get rid of them and move on to Kellen Moore. But I wouldn't personally right now at this stage.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, as we got onto it on the other cast, it's just, for me, it's just the business of the NFL, right? And everyone's, because now it's funny because everyone's ready to get rid of Kellen week 1. Now everyone loves Kellen Moore week 2. Not everyone, but you know the particular fans I'm talking about here, guys. Yeah. I was just like, hey, y'all got to pick the right. I'm like, y'all got to pick a lane and stick with it. Come on, help me out here. So. If you're look, if you go 12-5 or 13-4 or 11-6 and you win the division, you go to the playoffs, you win a playoff game or 2, man, there's just there's no way they're going to get rid of Mike McCarthy. They're just not. Now, Kellen was all the way out the door for sure to Boise, and I'm sure there was some things that was said to Kellen Moore on top of the bag that he got for a 3-year deal. We made a big deal about that in the offseason. Right, a little wink, handshake. Hey, look, we're going to get Dak done. Stay here. Just hold on, right? And they so he has an understanding of what's happening, and maybe why Mike McCarthy was good about it, because he does too, perhaps. You're right, because the connection is there, and they did some things to make him come back. But NFL stands not for long, and remember, he interviewed for NFL jobs the prior year as well. He interviewed for the Eagles job, right? He interviewed for, I think, the Giants job as well, if I'm not mistaken, before Joe Judge got it. So if another team comes calling, especially when this team is rolling and things continue the way that they are, especially offensively, I mean, mine's going to tell you, I don't know how they would be able to keep him here. Now, he might look for the right situation, but now a team like Minnesota would scare me, right? You got good weapons. You need someone to pull the trigger, though, right? You got to do something about the quarterback position, but they got good weapons on offense, so he knows he can go up there and start cooking, real, with a Dalvin Cook, no pun intended, real quick. So yeah, man, look, we would love to have it. I don't want Kellen to get out of here, but the way that the business of the NFL works, I would be shocked. If the Cowboys made it to the NFC Championship game, went 12-5, and they're like, all right, fam, McCarthy, you're out because we don't lose Kellen Moore. I would be shocked.
Is Jimmy Johnson going into the Ring of Honor Monday night?
It sounds like it. Doesn't I'm like, they need to announce it though, but they're playing with it, right? They're playing with us a little bit.
At first, Michael Irvin said something, right?
Yeah, well, he backtracked. He backtracked it, and so at first, I was thinking it makes all the sense in the world to do it, because I've heard that Michael's going to be in the building.
Right.
Troy is going to be in the building. So you would think that it would be something bigger than just getting your Hall of Fame ring.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. Michael has said that, but he meant that he's going to get his Hall of Fame ring. So that's why he's going to be there. Yeah. And then Jerry Jones, of course, came out and backdoored and said, it's about, he doesn't want to take away from the Hall of Fame ring. And, that's a big honor in itself. They'll definitely do something separate for the Ring of Honor smokescreen. So I don't think it's going to happen, y'all, man. I don't trust Jerry with this Jimmy Ring of Honor thing. I feel like he was up there just gassing like he normally does on TV, but it's going to be delayed until he really puts Jimmy in the Ring of Honor. We had the opportunity, I felt like, as media, to really start to put the pressure on him, right now, because Michael kind of said it, but to hear Jerry backdoor, I'm like, nah, he's not going to do it, which it would be nice, man. Like, you already have him there. Yeah. It's a big moment. Why not? But
Eagles, but not football. Everybody's in the building.
Right, yeah. Like,
you just get it out of the way. You ain't got to worry about it no more.
They're going to wait for a Sunday noon game versus, the Colts or some random. It's like that Monday Night Football, this game, Everybody's in the building. Dak's back. Eagles, like Hall of Fame. Like, just do it now and get over with.
And it makes all the sense because it was a Monday night game against the Washington, at the time, Redskins, not the football team. They put the triplets into the Ring of Honor. So, maybe it's a flash mob situation, and I got you, you're in, and on about it. Maybe Jerry's like, I'm just gonna do a 2-for-1. So I got to see him 2 times. I don't know.
Right.
Hey man, but if that does happen, and we got Dez in the house, Troy Aikman, man, like we have everybody going on, like the Eagles just go ahead and pack it up. But let me ask y'all, who is your most hated Eagles player of all time?
All time.
For me, it's easy. I'll let you go next.
Okay. Well, if you got to go ahead and go, there's a couple.
Because he's really not an Eagle. He's been kind of borrowed now, but Deshaun Jackson clearly.
Deshaun.
Deshaun Jackson's my most hated athlete besides Rajon Rondo. If I had the
tell us how you feel. Tell us how you really feel.
If I had the opportunity to kind of do like a celebrity, like Jake Paul type, boxing type, it would be either one of those two. And I'll be open to do it anytime. So it's Deshaun Jackson by far and Rajon Rondo.
Can I cheat a little bit? Can I pick a coach?
Oh, okay.
Buddy Ryan, man. F that guy. Oh my God. I mean, he had a bounty on our kicker and knocked him out. He was going to the wrong sidelines. I mean, he wouldn't go up shake Jimmy Johnson's hand. He ran off, and Jimmy had to call him. He wouldn't bring his fat butt to the middle of the field. And man, that guy there, boy, he knew how to irritate the hell out of people, man. And boy, back then, I mean, boy, it was tough over there at the vet. Oh my, I mean, the snowballs coming into the Cowboys, they had batteries in them. I mean, that was all because how Buddy Ryan conducted business, man. Buddy Ryan. If I got to go player, man, Donovan McNabb, bro. And I like Donovan low-key as a quarterback, but I was just like, man, just running around, throwing the ball all 50 million yards on the field, typically to Deshaun Jackson, by the way. And I don't, that one time just coming in, Cowboys Stadium, strumming the guitar and hitting the thing. I'm like, get out of here, bro. I'm tired of seeing you do stuff.
Proceeded to get shut out that
game.
He did. Was that the game after?
He did. Yeah, that was the play. I think it was the playoff game. We beat him week 16. Then he came back for the playoff. I think it was the playoff game that we beat him. He came in doing that stuff. But yeah, Donovan McNabb, man, I didn't like it too much.
For me, I'm not 58 like Nick, so
I'm up there. I'm way up there.
So recently, you know how big of a Dak fan I am, and just to see the media hype train get behind Carson Wentz and shit on Dak, and Eagles fans propelling their guy, it was him for me for a while, but it didn't last very long because flash in the pan just like his career. But that's neither here nor there.
Right. Honestly, it probably should be like Nick Foles because he's the one that got him the damn ring. Now we got now Philly fans want to shut up about something that happened like 5-6 years ago or whatever. God bless.
I mean, they're still bringing up Carson Wentz's ring. He's better than Dak because he won a ring. And
but he ain't gonna play us.
And he won MVP, right?
Oh yeah, that's the weird thing. Who's the MVP? It's like, bro, no, he wasn't. Like, why do you keep saying that? That's weird.
If your team wins the Super Bowl without you, you ain't the MVP. I'll tell you that.
You know what I mean?
All right, guys. Well, before I get y'all up out of here, give me your scores again. Give me your predictions. And tell me how you think the game is going to go.
Man, I originally had 27-17 Cowboys. But
I got my score there. Look at you.
The way the Eagles fans is pissing me off, man. I'm 40 balling their ass, man. That's how I want 40, bro. I was trying to have a good time, man. But Dak, bro, bring me their head. Let's just do it and get them off my timeline, off my shows, off my channels, because they hard-headed. They don't listen. They always want to talk about 25 years. They never want to talk about the last 4. They never want to talk about last year. They don't even want to talk about Monday night. It's always just 25 years to kind of fit their narrative, their conversation. So that's all right. Monday night, we're going to 40 ball their ass, get them off my face, and we're going to move on to the Panthers like we were planning to do on this show, man. So 40-17 Cowboys.
I love it.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm still sticking with my original score. I've had it going for over a week now. 27-17. It's not really going to be as close as that score is going to say. I think we'll be up pretty handily. They might get a score or a score or two late just to make it look like they were in the game. But yeah, 27-17 Cowboys.
Same concept for me. I got us winning 38-20. I don't think it's going to be necessarily close, and I think they're going to pull the score make it look a little better toward the end. Cooper Rush is going to get his shine on this game.
Yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, I love that. Cooper Rush on that touchdown pass. They didn't like it.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all been awesome. Thanks for coming on this show with me. It's good to have you all on here and talk to you all again.
Yes, sir.
And yeah. Where can they find you guys at?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at JTuck151. I appreciate all the support, all the follows, even if you are a Stanky Eagles fan. Also follow me on my YouTube channel, Cowboys Fans Only. Appreciate all the support, comment, like, subscribe, and then also go to cowboysfansonly.com to get your merch.
That part. You got some fire shirts over there right now, too. I still got to get my damn Parsons shirt from you. Yeah. Fire shirt.
Sure is a privilege shirt.
No, man, you already know what it is. Man, you can catch me on Twitter at YourGuyNix_in-between. Also, Star Game Podcast on YouTube. Come catch me, Mary Ellis Spooney, and that boy Matt O every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. And man, if you do the Facebook thing, man, we got a group called Star Game. Come join it. We're 7 grand strong over that way. Come mess with us. Dylan, I'm going to get you on my show to complete the trilogy. You've been on Tug. We've been on yours. I'm going to get you over on the Star Game show for a little episode.
Anytime. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Peace.